Alright, worst genetics for aesthetics. Now, all of us dream to pick the lottery ticket for superior genetics, but the harsh reality is no one has every single one of these. Each of us have gifts with some genetic roles, and then not so lucky in others, including myself, and I'm happy to admit that. Now, I'm not going to go through these super lightly, so if you don't have thick skin, then maybe don't watch this, but I do want to say, just because you don't have one genetic advantage doesn't mean you're not blessed by God with other genetics, so always count your blessings. And also, when I'm going through these, I'm ranking them based off aesthetics, just like what you would see a judge do at a bodybuilding show. So obviously, having bad genetics like bowed legs, for example, most of the best soccer players in the world have bowed legs because of the impact that soccer has for these athletes. But I'll tell you one thing right now, I'd pick bowed legs any day of the week to be the best soccer player in the world. So we're going to be ranking the worst genetics on a tier list, starting at the top with cooked and going down to you're good, bro. But anyway, make sure you leave a like and let's dive into the video. So first up we have is high calf insertions. High calf insertions is aesthetically does not look great. Athletically, it's fantastic though. So playing basketball, I think sprinting, it's really good to have high calf insertions. Although you're gonna look like your ankles are tiny. You're gonna look super lanky, and also Larry Wheels doesn't have the best case of this. It'd really be good to have your last name as Wheels and having crazy legs, but unfortunately, that's not always how life works. High calf insertions, I mean, not the best thing in the world. I don't have great calves either, so my calves don't really insert low, they're just small. So I'm gonna be putting high calf insertions up in it could be worse. Alright, next up we have is gyno. So gynecomastia, I think it's called. So basically you can develop gyno by either not being natural and having your hormones all out of whack, having too much estrogen, or you can be born with it. So it's a bit of case by case. It can be pretty bad, although you can get surgery just to get rid of it, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I know there's like a little trick where you like pinch your nipple to try and get rid of it just before a lot of people like take photos of themselves. If it's really bad, you can get surgery. If it's not so bad, you can get away with it, so I'm gonna put it up at not bad. Alright, next up we have is having a 4-pack. Obviously this isn't the biggest deal in the world.
If you're curious, this is what my abs looked like at the end of my last cut at around 10% body fat. You can see that I have more of a 4-pack than a 6-pack, and while you can't change the genetic structure of your ab,
although I will say though, Lee Priest having that crazy 8-pack looks absolutely insane. He had one of the best looking physiques, best looking abs that I think I've ever seen. It just looks pretty insane. Makes you look tall as well when you have just like this crazy 8-pack. But I mean, having a 4-pack's not not something that someone points out. If you just got abs, you're like, credit to you, good stuff. But you know, if you're blessed and you have a really crazy 8-pack, kudos to you, bro. But I'm gonna be putting 4-pack up in, no one's really noticing. Next up we have is growing a beard. That one's a bit different than the rest of these, but I thought I'll throw that one in there. So I'm going to be ranking this on not being able to grow a beard. So if you're someone like me, I'm probably going to get rinsed in the comments, but I don't know if you can see on this camera, but I've been growing this out for a few days. I can grow like here, underneath, around here, but then it's just a bit spaced out here. It doesn't connect well. But I think having a really full, thick beard, it looks amazing, especially when you have a good physique as well. So David Lade and Lex Little sort of went through this era. I think they look insane. No zesty shit, but I think it looks good. But yeah, if you're lucky enough to be able to grow a full beard all the way around, it can make your jaw look really defined as well if you shape it real nice. So you just look like mature. If you're blessed to be able to do that, good on you, man. I'm gonna put not being able to grow a beard up in, I'm gonna put in you're good, bro. All right, next up we have is bad chest genetics. So this is also case by case. There's this condition that's called pectus excavatum. Basically your chest is indented, but if it's not so bad, like Hussein managed to grow it out so it just didn't look that bad, to be honest. You barely notice it, but it can be bad in some scenarios. So let's say it's really bad. The best thing you can do is just grow your chest, but not the worst thing in the world. I'm sure you have gifts in other aspects as well. I'm gonna sound biased because it's like one of my strong points in my physique, so I'm gonna put it down. It could be worse. All right, next up we have is short clavicles. So having narrow clavicles, it's a hard pill to swallow. It makes the top part of your physique just come inwards instead of having that V taper. It's just gonna be so difficult for you to grow out that V taper. You can just grow your shoulders. If you got good shoulder genetics, then you can mask it, make it almost not noticeable. If you got a thin waist, you can also do the same thing, make it close to not noticeable. But let's say it's pretty bad, don't have very big shoulders either, I think you're a bit cooked, to be honest. Yeah, that's just worst case though. If it's not so bad, I'd chuck it down to like no one's noticing. If you just grow your shoulders, you get away with it. All right, next up we have is having a good V-line. Now, I'm gonna sound pretty fruity talking about this, but I just don't care. Having a good V-line is basically the muscles that come around sort of above your hip and your obliques and stuff can make you look like you have, you know, line going down. I think it looks really aesthetic. Obviously, if you're just super lean, you'll almost always have that V-line, but some people have it and they're just not even lean at all. So yeah, with a V-line, you know, it is just genetic. Sometimes you can just have those muscles come up around just sort of like top part of your hip bone. Look, not the worst thing in the world though. I'm gonna put it in you're good bro, but if you do have a good V-line though, it does look fantastic. No fruity shit though. Next up we have is having high quad insertions. I actually do have very high quad insertions. One thing it does, it makes having long shorts look terrible on you. I think David Lade has a little bit of this. When you wear shorts in general, you sort of need to wear high shorts or else you're just gonna look like you have tiny legs. Yeah, not the best thing in the world. Above your knee is just gonna be tendons and just minimal muscle, because top part of your leg is gonna be where all your quad muscles sort of sit. So I think I'm gonna put up in no one's really noticing. It just means that you can't wear certain types of shorts or else you're gonna look like you got no legs, but not the worst thing in the world. All right, next up we have is finding it hard to tan. Obviously, bodybuilders, they go on stage with a really dark tan. It just makes you look so much more vascular, so much more defined. But being someone that doesn't really tan easily, you can just wear fake tan. I know a lot of dudes will do that too, and it's like nothing wrong with that. Honestly, wearing fake tans is not the worst thing in the world. If you go out in the sun and you just burn like a tomato and you just can't tan, it sucks. But you can just wear fake tan. So I'm gonna put it in you're good bro, honestly. All right, next up we have is being a short dude. I am 5'11". Do I wish I was 6'1", maybe 6'2"? I guess, but you know, it's not the worst thing. I think if you're 5'5" or 5'6", that is a tough pill to swallow. But when you're a short dude, for aesthetics, you build muscle like no tall dude can ever do. They're basically forced to go enhanced to try and look anywhere as big as a short dude. So you put on muscle like so fast. So when you go to the gym, you're just gonna see progress on progress on progress, rather than a tall dude who's gonna take years and years of training to even look close to what a short guy can. So Lee Priest, there is this clip of Jay Cutler saying that he could not believe his eyes when he looked at what Lee Priest looked like at 18 years old.
Dude, he was unbelievable. No lie, if you said to me, I've seen Ronnie Coleman, obviously I competed with him. No one could ever blow your mind like Lee Priest looked when he was 21 years.
Nuts, right?
It was, I walked in the gym and I remember like looking at him and saying, how is that even possible?
Best looking physique for an 18-year-old ever. Not the worst thing in the world, but I'm gonna put it up at because there's advantages, I'm gonna put it in not bad. You can build a really stocky looking physique. So all right, next up we have is having a blocky waist. It's a tough one, depending on how bad it is and depending if you have good shoulder genetics and things like that, because if you can get really built shoulders, you can still have some sort of V-taper. But having a blocky waist, I mean, it's really good for deadlifting, powerlifting. Having long limbs and a blocky waist, it's fantastic. You can just lift heavier. In terms of aesthetics, it is tough. There's not much you can do. Maybe grow your back, maybe grow your shoulders, but having just that really blocky waist, I'm gonna put it up at cooked. I'm sorry. But anyway, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you're new as well, and let me know if you think I ranked these pretty fairly, what you think I could mix up. Don't roast me in the comments though. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.